Almost every day, children are going missing to human trafficking. And this has become something that's very visual in a sense of people talk about it. People don't think that it's just conspiracy theory when they hear about what happens when children get to be trafficked. It's something that people might not actually believe at some point, but it happens at the end of the day, behind the scenes, right? Children getting mutilated, drinking their blood, you know. But here's the thing, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. I want to send my condolences to every parent that lost their child through human trafficking. And anybody who went through this, I don't think somebody would want to go through this experience, losing their loved ones through human trafficking all the time. The reason why I'm making this video, I personally think that it'll bring a different shift and a focus for people to understand what really happens and the real reason why children are always getting kidnapped and human trafficked. And over the fact that it's not just drinking their blood, eating their flesh, anything to do with reptilians only. It's far deeper and greater than that. If I were to put it in a simple way, everything that you know about human trafficking, what happens when the children just disappear from the map of this earth, it's just a front, a cover-up. They don't want people to understand what is the real reason and the agenda behind it. And me talking about this today will help open a lot of you to understand and how to ensure more safety for your children, for anyone for that matter, you know. So the real agenda why they keep on kidnapping children through human trafficking is to stop the Messiah or the Messiah children from existing on this planet, because the Messiah energy is a problem and it is a greatest threat in the system for the Matrix and those who want to control everybody in it. So they go out in a sense that they establish a system based under the ground, not under the world. It's total different things, right? Under the ground, creating this base to ensure that when they capture these children, they study them before they do whatever that is that they want to do. And some children they keep for themselves so that they can be able to use them in the system and influence everybody in a negative way. We're talking about these children getting to be trained to be for the system and to be under an influence for them to know and be programmed that whatever they do, they stand for the system. Then it happens that there's a next superstar, making an example, next superstar that comes out of nowhere. When you try to connect the dots, there's no enough information about their parents or their bringing, right? It really doesn't make sense at the end of the day. If people were to follow that, you'd actually notice that there's something missing here. Why? Because most of those children that have been human trafficked, some are still alive. That's why I'm saying that they choose which ones they want to let go and the ones they want to use for a certain aspect that furthers their power and knowledge in whatever that is that they want to do on this earth. And some get to be freed, but are given different parents that are not their real parents to nurture them with the program that has been given to them, that when this child reaches a certain age, this child is going to be good in sports, it's going to be good in music, it's going to be a good actor. This child is going to have interest in politics. This is the guideline how to ensure that the child keeps up with this, and will come. The time will come to collect and use this child for this and this and that. And that is within the agreement when they get these children, give them new parents, and start to align them according to how it would bring great success to those who want to continue enslaving everybody, including those children that are the messiahs. But they trade careful, those behind the scenes, when they do this, because it's not an easy task. But because they would want to have that influence under their control, they are willing to do about anything to ensure that this happens. So what I've just said is that the real reason behind human trafficking, more particularly children, that is direct to them, is to try to stop the messiahs from activating their DNA because they are a threat. The chosen ones are not really a threat. It's easy to manipulate the chosen ones. You give them a book and information that when you read it, it gets so fascinating, you think that I should go out there and start to talk about it and influence people. They are not afraid of the chosen ones. It's easy to manipulate the chosen ones. But they are yet again very powerful. There are no difference between the chosen ones and those that are the Messiah in this world. However, the chosen ones, it's so easy to manipulate. They can set up a system of the messiahs. They can set up a system of the chosen ones to be on TikTok, only to find out that out of all the ones that are there on TikTok or any other social media, they're under Ultra MK control. What this means is, in everything that they do, it doesn't entirely come from within them, but they are driven what source of information they should actually put out there is a setup for destruction. So the chosen ones are easily manipulated, especially if you know that you're a chosen one, but you're not actually properly aligning to what is it that you have to do as somebody who just came here to lead people into righteousness. If you do not know what you're doing, then they'll come for you. They'll put you under Ultra MK. In order for them to do that, they don't need to come to you physically or capture you. No, they can do it in a spiritual sense. I'm making an example. You might think that you're connecting with your higher celestial beings, only to find out that those are man-made celestial beings. That you are being used to convert you and to follow information that won't really serve a purpose in helping people ascend, but to make it a gossip, right? It's more like turning all the information into gossip. And the only thing that you can ever do is tell people about it, and everybody will talk about it for the rest of the whole entire year. Unless if it's something that will make people stand up and go out there and start to ascend, then you're a different star seed. You're not under any Ultra MK. So that's why I'm saying that they're not afraid of the chosen ones or those who have enlightenment like that. The people that can't manipulate are the messiahs. So every time they capture these children, because they do not know which one is the messiahs or who has that bloodline, they would rather capture all children from all different parts of the world. This automatically does what? It contains the higher power of the Messiah seeds activating their DNA, or the Messiahs activating their DNA. They're able to limit that not to actually happen so that they can be able to have control over that energy. Because should a Messiah activate their DNA, they can't touch him or her. It becomes difficult, and they're not even allowed to go after them. So them going to their children, they're stealing. Because they always have a backup way how they can be able to manipulate situation. And that's what they are doing through these children. So it's not in a matter of consuming their blood, their flesh, or anything connected to the reptilian force like that to have that sort of control, but it's more to try and continue stop the messiahs. Because should one messiah rise The system could collapse in just a day. I'm telling you. No one can measure to the influence of a Messiah like that. Not in terms of numbers or how many people are following them, but over the fact that their influence is so good that it can change things. It can change destinies. It can change the destiny of people. It can change the destiny of the whole entire planet. That's the kind of influence I'm talking about. If the Messiah says, let's go this direction, everybody will do that. With or without knowing it, that they are listening to a Messiah. Because when a Messiah comes, all the Messiahs start coming. They'll never tell you who they are really. They'll always hide that. You will be able to see it in them. So that's what the system is afraid of. So collect all of these children, they study them, and some they keep under the base and put them to be under slave in terms of the system, to work for the system, to work for the matrix, to have to tap into their power and use them behind the scenes so that they can continue using this energy to control everything in this world. Right? So they have calculated all of this, and they're doing it through human trafficking, and they make sure that people don't even interact to understand, because you will know that as a parent, you could be nurturing a Messiah. That is why as a parent, you need to pay attention to how your children are behaving. You can be able to tell. All the characteristics are there within them. And in that sense, yes, every parent would like to protect their children by all means, but if you realize who you're nurturing, it will be 10 times greater for you to protect them. Not only that, but to nurture them accordingly so that they live up to their purpose. So they don't want you to have this awareness. That's why I'm saying to you, me making this video, it is going to change the perception of how people look at the system and everything that happens around them. That within your household, you are nurturing, possibly could be a Messiah, not just a chosen one. Yeah, some of you are nurturing the chosen ones, right? Some of you are nurturing rainbow children, and some of you are nurturing starseeds, right? Some of you are nurturing the Messiahs. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. So every time they go after these children, they are trying to stop that from happening. Right? They're trying to stop that from happening. And I personally think that they have a network how they can be able to track some of these children. If it happens that your child, the way he or she got snatched or got to be kidnapped, if it was too easy, chances are your child could have been a Messiah. If it was too easy, it means that it was planned. They've been following you and your children. They don't just wake up and say, let's go and kidnap children. No, they don't do that. They make you think like that's what they do. They'll send up some list of children they are looking for in a specific country, region, province, in a specific location. Why? Because they are able to measure into connecting at least, even though they might not actually know, they read that energy. That puts up a chance that these children they are going after in the specific region, country, or province, one of them or two, three, could be the Messiah. And because they don't want to take any chances, they go after all those children at that specific location. When you go back to the Bible, it was easy to track a Messiah when a Messiah is about to be born. Even though the symbolism of it is still the same in the stars, but now, after Yeshua, the Messiahs that came are no longer one in the whole entire world, but multiple of them. So that is why they set up a system to go after all children each and every year. In the Bible, when Yeshua was being followed, those were the system trying to stop what he was doing. Even though they knew that it was impossible, they would actually keep record and track of what he does so that they could be able to master how the messiahs proceed and plan and operate. They couldn't take him down. They didn't even take him down. The story that you read from the Bible is just a made-up concept. Yeshua never died. He ascended through the Son. And he taught everybody to do that. But that information has been taken away from the Bible so that you don't be able to tap into it, because through it, everything will start to make sense. That through the Son, you can be able to see the Father. And that's what Yeshua was teaching. So they would follow him up to study how he does these things, because he was connected with all the animates. He mastered all of them. He would actually manipulate anything into existence. The influence was so great that everybody was so interested in whatever that he said, because he was speaking things directing them from the heart. He was teaching people how to connect with the heart, not to be in the mind. He was teaching people how your faith has to be strong and to grow in order for you to make anything possible. And that is a threat to the system. The system teaches you to believe. Yeshua teaches people to know. But all of that information is not there, right? I'm deviating from what I'm about to say. So in honesty, all of these messiahs are everywhere, even now as we speak. And if it happens that they never got to those messiahs as children through human trafficking, when they grow, as soon as they activate their DNA, they go after them. They try by all means to make sure that they don't connect to their purpose. And if they realize that some who have actually found themselves who they are, who have been actually ascended to that level, it's difficult to go after them. But they keep on tracking them, they follow them around to know what their plans are. And they're always waiting for that perfect moment where that Messiah can actually fail so that they can actually go after them. And even though they capture them, when they arrest that Messiah, they can't even bring them in a major facility of a prison. It's too dangerous. That prison would actually collapse. So they would rather do what? Transport them under the ground in a different base. Capture and keep them there. That way, their energy can't affect the whole entire system, because if they'll go after the Messiah like that, or any other Messiah seed or Messiah child who's actually activated their being to that level, it endangers the whole entire system. So they try to keep record to make sure that whatever that they do, they don't actually expand to that level. There are messiahs right now in prison that never knew. There are messiahs right now and are drinking, some are abusing alcohol, abusing drugs. And most of the time, some of these messiahs, or including starseeds or rainbow children, they misplace on purpose their soul, consciousness, spirit into a different body that is not linked to the body that is connected to their parents' DNA. Because most of these Messiah seeds, when they come down here, they take that pattern of a DNA from their parents. So every time they get a chance to misplace that Messiah seed out of the original body, they do that because that body is connected to their parents' original seed. Blood DNA. They know definitely that this child, it will be so easy for them to find themselves. Therefore, they go to hospitals and misplace by removing your soul and consciousness to put it in a different body that doesn't actually resonate that DNA, so that it can be very difficult for you to find yourself and realize who you are. See, they don't take chances, these people. They mean real business. They know how the messiahs can affect this whole entire planet positively from one position. Collectively, when the messiahs start to rise, there will be that one messiah that must be assisted to ensure that whatever that is they came here to do becomes possible. They're afraid of that. And within all the messiahs, there could be that one major who's accumulated so much frequency and vibration on that level to discern power in this world to be like a magnet for everybody to listen to, and they start to teach. It's not about them going against the system. No, it's never about that, but to teach so that they can actually be able to set themselves free within the practices they have to do. And why do they go crazy to make sure that they stop the messiahs? First of all the messiahs are immortal. They do not die. They do not die. They can't be stopped once they reach the specific energy. Once they reach that certain energy, they can't even be arrested. Going against the messiahs, it's more like going against the energy of God, which is the free energy. Not something too deep and complex or personal. It's just an energy, the free energy, that they have control over. These messiahs are able to master all elements at a short span of time. And if the messiahs come, or the messiahs can continue training, some are able to master a certain element, and some are able to master all elements, like Yeshua did. The reason why Yeshua is still yet today famous, even though they converted his name into Jesus, is because he mastered all elements, everything. So it's the same thing with the messiahs. It could be that you're a messiah, you've only mastered one element. And not to say that because you've mastered an element, you are a messiah. No. You can still master those elements with or without you being the messiah. But when it comes to the messiah, it's totally different. It could mean that you're a messiah who's mastered all the elements as well. So all of this is just the energy within and not without. So the messiahs are immortal. They do not die. Each and every 20 years, they keep on coming, more and more of them. That's why I'm telling you that right now they're scattered all over the whole entire world. That's why those behind the scenes, they go crazy trying to track them. And like I'm telling you, if they never got a chance to track them through human trafficking, they go after them, keep tracks of them. Just to try to keep tracks, what they do, what they are planning, and try to stop it. They can't stop them, but they can use all there is that is technology to stop them. But they can't touch them at all. But should they make a mistake, they go after them, because now they will have an upper hand to do whatever. But still, they need to trade careful how they do it. So I don't want to make this video very long, because I'm not teaching anything here. But I wanted to give a great awareness for you to take extra security for your children. Because you could be raising a messiah right now. You don't even know it. They are here already. Right? But now you know today why it's important for them to keep on doing human trafficking, which will end. It'll stop. They've lost all power. They can't do anything about it. It'll stop. So you have to help and nurture your children. All of these children are not yours, right? You have to help nurture them accordingly once you see that they've got something special within them. And that's all I'm saying today. Love and cosmic light.